Wall Street bets. Well, time to buy some new consoles, but first, let's try out our new setup. And I've got the perfect game to wind down from such a hard day of work. Sorry, I accidentally touched excrements. I meant this one. Beyond Good and Evil, the HD version. Now I have no idea why they have these three particular games on one CD, but I've got Beyond Good and Evil, the HD version. Well, let's check it out. I'm Dr. Sledgehammer, by the way, and today I want to talk about one of the many games that managed to get its own cult following, and is considered by some to be one of the greatest games ever made. Obviously, these people haven't played Dark Souls yet, but well, to each their own. Ubisoft's Michel Ancel and his team are mostly known for developing the Rayman franchise. They have been at it since 1995 and are still going strong. The only other notable game that they developed is Beyond Good and Evil, a game that is just so weird and funny that it just cries out for you to go and explore it. So the team took a hiatus from the Rayman franchise back in the early 2000s to allow themselves to work on Ansel's passion project. The influence of Rayman is of course clearly visible, be it when you look at both games' graphics, the text font, the shooting mechanisms, and many other things. Ansel basically created a universe that has the weirdness of Rayman but deals with the stories of humanoids, so you can relate to the story a little bit better. Now, without further ado, let's just have a look at the game. Let's check it out and see if it's as good as people say it is. The story takes place on a mining planet called Helios, a planet in a galaxy far away. The planet is mostly made of water and contains only a few inhabitable islands that most likely came to be as a result of volcano eruptions. Our protagonist is a woman called Jade who likes photography, is proficient in ass-kicking, and takes care of orphans at a lighthouse on one of the islands on Helios. Jade is currently meditating in front of the ocean. Suddenly her island is attacked by an alien entity called the Doms, who seem to shoot meteors on the island. Thankfully the tower has a built-in energy shield defense system. Jade tries to activate the defense system to protect the island from the ensuing attacks. However, she ran out of money, so the energy provider went ahead and shut down the electricity. She is dead in the water. Okay, two things. First of all, from my understanding, Helios is subject to such attacks every 14 hours, so how is it possible for an energy provider to just go ahead and cut off your power? Secondly, Helios has a limited amount of land available. As a matter of fact, you can see everything on the map right here. So how is Jade able to afford her own island but is not able to pay off her energy bill? I mean, she should be just some sort of royalty to be able to accomplish something like that. She should be just loaded with cash. Dumb creatures that look like human rib cages come down from the sky and start swallowing the children of the lighthouse. Wow, now that is really nasty. Imagine being trapped in there. Well, let's do something about it. Well, the movement seems to be fluid, the controls are quite responsive, and, well, combat seems to be straightforward. You just button mash the target in front of you until it dies and react to any creature advancing towards you. I would say combat is actually pretty boring in this game, if I want to be honest with you, because I almost never feel like I'm in imminent danger in the game. I'm just button mashing, see? After you beat their asses and free the children, you will be dragged underground by this abomination. While Jade is getting fucked up, a pig comes flying out of the window to join the battle. Meet Uncle Page, who's really funny, but also really useless. It's boss fight time. Here you learn to utilize your power attack. Just hold down. Whoa. Yeah. Just hold down your strike button and wait until it closes and BOW! Yeah. You keep breaking its defenses and striking it in the eye until it dies. After we kill this creature, two things will happen. First, the planet's government entity, the Alpha Sections, appear to claim credit for your deeds. Spoiler alert, they're a totalitarian government that is in cahoots with the alien takeover. Secondly, we collect one of the game's two currencies, a pearl. It is also one of two collectible items that you are awarded for completing tough in-game challenges. These pearls can be discovered all over Helios and can be used to upgrade our hovercraft that we need to travel around Helios. The second collectibles are photos of animals. See, Jade earns her living doing photography, and it just so happens that a client wants her to collect pictures of all the creatures on Hillis. Wait, I can actually earn cash by sending in unedited pictures of animals? If you excuse me for a moment. Oh man, with this, I'm gonna put my kids through college. We also receive a second project from a client called Mr. the Cadillac, who sent you a CD transmission in which a guy in a tuxedo stands in front of a car. Why would this guy go through all this effort of making a video? I mean, I thought I was looking at the photo for a moment until I had a closer look. And why in front of a car? Why not on a sofa or a desk, like a decent human being? Well, I think this guy is not right in the head and Jade should avoid him. Paige totally agrees with me, but Jade's computer holograph guy thinks I should take the job. By the way, this is Secundo. He mixes Spanish and English when he talks, which makes him difficult to understand. But for some reason I just don't care, because he just sounds so cool.
Account identification, okay.
Scanalyze, okay.
If any of you remember my Heart of Darkness review, I complained about the developers doing the same thing. In Heart of Darkness you were listening to conversations between Andy and the amigos and were simply lost and confused. Here you know exactly what is being talked about without understanding every word spoken. This is actually one of the strong points in the game. What really brings this game to life is the diversity of every character that you meet. Almost every character is of a different species. Even regular humans are also of different races. Plus the game greatly utilizes different languages like Spanish and Bulgarian. They even use musical instruments and cultural themes of different nations. The game really makes me feel like I'm a foreigner in a different country. I feel really excited to learn more about Hillis. And let me be frank here with you for a moment. I feel like almost every character in the game is kind of bland and one-dimensional, except for Paige and Secundo, who are pretty fun, but don't have enough screen time in my opinion. Now Jade is a different story. I feel like she has her moments, but she is kinda underdeveloped and quite forgettable. I mean, you could switch her out with any character and the game would work just as well. Despite all that, however, you just don't give a damn, because the game and the environment in general just ooze character. Just check out the vibes that you get when you visit Mama Go's repair shop. A Rhine woman with a Jamaican accent and her two handymen. This shop is a direct indicator for your progress in game, as your goal is to find enough pearls to get all these upgrades you see in front of you for your hovercraft. After we repair our hovercraft, we set out to meet our client who... What the fuck, are you kidding me? He is actually standing there in his suit with that car behind him. How long has he been there? I mean, it is not like we agreed to meet up, I just happened to swing by. And to think this dude actually sent me a CD-ROM. I mean, he probably sent it to me a couple of weeks ago via pigeon or some shit. All this time standing over there looking like this. Mr. de Castellac wanted me to go into the cave to take pictures of some strange Doms creatures that are currently mating. I ended up in a game of whack-a-mole with a giant snake monster instead. As it turns out, Mr. de Castellac works for the Iris network and wanted to test and see if I'm fit to join them. See, there are three factions here on Hillis. First of all, you have the Doms, who are trying to take your children and suck out their life energy. Then you have the Alpha sections, who are basically the government. Then you have the Iris network, that is a resistance group that is trying to prove that the Alpha sections are in cahoots with the Doms by doing actual journalism, which is quite a rare profession in our times. You are then invited to the headquarters where you meet the Iris crew and you are told what to do next. So yeah, basically you are shown the entire structure of the main storyline in a PowerPoint presentation.
The victims are kidnapped by Alpha Section agents. They are then taken to the Neutrophils factory. Shuttles are then used to take them to the old slaughterhouses, and from there, they are loaded into military cruisers headed for the moon.
We don't know what they're forced to.
In terms of combat, you will get an additional disc shooting glove that you can utilize in boss fights and you can also use to activate switches. An added gameplay element that comes in these missions is stealth sections.
It's coming from over there! I'm going!
See, you shouldn't try to fight with the Alpha Section units directly because they would just whoop your ass, so you need to be creative here. There are two ways to deal with gods. In the first, you need to find a way to give them 2 swift kicks to the butt to blow up their strange green tanks and send them flying. In the second method, you have to be patient and find a way to sneak past them. These sections are kind of fun for a while, but at a certain point in the game, like for example when you reach the slaughterhouse, you just want to have some interesting combat and some fun puzzles to solve. I mean, I guess when it comes to the main missions, they feel kinda limited and repetitive.
Hang on, Jade! Jet boots attack! Jade, need help!
Along the way you will get to hang out with 2 companions, the first being Paige and the second one is an imprisoned Iris agent called Double H. Double H keeps citing a lot of lines from a book called Carlson and Peters.
Don't break up the team. Carlson and Peters, page 823.
Well, we work together as one.
Carlson and Peters, page 823.
Carlson and Peters!
Yeah, no idea what that is, but what I can say is that both companions are expert at getting their asses handed to them. Thankfully they seem to be quite resistant to damage. Now the main missions can be kinda fun, but I noticed that I'm much more interested in all the side activities and mini-games that the game provides. Activities that you can find on some certain islands, side alleys or the Akuba bar. These games are actually quite a bit challenging. They are fun to do and do not feel like a burden at all. Fuck you, Francis! Get back to your mom's basement, you fucking troll! Unlike games like Arkham Knight, the hovercraft sections are quite fun. You get to have some really intense boss fights occasionally. You get to participate in races to win pearls, or you get confronted by looters who come with cop cars to steal some of your money and make a run for it. It is one intense pursuit that can easily get some players to their limit, as you will probably get shut out multiple times before you get good. After completing one of these car chases, it's time to wind down and chill. Everything in Hillis is so goddamn amazing. I mean, the scenery is really nice to look at. Everything is just an eye-catcher. By the way, what am I smoking? What is this stuff? It tastes like pizza. Oh, it's oregano. Oh shit! I mean, the first time Jade meets General Keck, one of this game's main antagonists is in a little side quest in the pedestrian district. Which means if you skip this event, Jade will meet General Keck for the first time ever at the end of the game during the boss fight. Ah, by the way, this guy right here annoys the fuck out of me. Everywhere you go you hear the same shit over and over and over and over again.
Loyal Hillians, war has reared its ugly head on your planet.
I mean, seriously, it is everywhere, and he has almost nothing new to say the whole time. You will really enjoy killing this orc lookalike motherfucker just to shut him the fuck up. This reminds me, the game actually allows you to fly to the moon and have a spaceship battle with the Doms. How cool is that? Well, enough said, it's verdict time. It was really a blast hanging out in Hillis again. The game manages to be both intense and calming at the same time. The amazing thing really is that the first hour of the game you really have no clear enemy yet. You have your little battle with the Doms, of course, but after that you just go about your regular business and try to earn some income to sustain the orphanage. Only when you go out to explore the world you will start to slowly edge into the plot. That being said, I think the combat in the game is kinda bland, the characters are one-dimensional, and what I find worst about the game is the size of the damn planet. I feel like the developers were a little bit lazy here. They could have easily expanded the map a little bit, add some islands, maybe increase the number of missions in the main storyline, add some character development for Jade, yeah, that would be really important. I mean, It should not be as large as Skyrim, but a couple more islands and a few more characters would have made a huge impact. Folks, this game can be completed in 5 hours. For any other game that would be criminal. I beat the game about 12 hours, but I actually went out of my way to find every animal on the planet and collect every pearl. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I went full completionist here. The game gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me. It's a great game with great replayability value, great music, fun characters. Yes, I said a lot of negative stuff about the game that would normally break any other game for me. However, it is really the package of the game that makes it. Back in the day, the game was developed as part of a trilogy. Plans that were sadly scrapped because the game was a commercial failure. I mean, we are finally getting our Beyond Good and Evil sequel / prequel. However, we can all agree that it is not the same. I mean, look at this. Jade seems to have been replaced as the main character, and you have freaking monkeys and pigs casually throwing around the F word. They are even planning to release a movie on Netflix. Do not get me wrong, I'm probably gonna love the sequel and I'm also gonna probably love the movie. However, we're not dealing with the same game here anymore. It's much larger than its predecessor and it's made for adults. Why couldn't we just have the original trilogy and have this as an addition? Why can't we have nice things? Anyway, I was Dr. Sledgehammer, I'm glad that you guys tuned in, and I will see you guys on the next Sledgehammer review. Bye. Oh my god, I'm gonna be a millionaire.